think now we are good to proceed. And yeah, you know what? I feel like, why don't we head back up? And perhaps it is time for us to take on something a little bit bigger here. I'm thinking the two big things that are perhaps next on our agenda would be the main quest, which is Sur'Kesh, and or the Grissom Academy mission, which is technically a side quest, although honestly is a big enough quest that it arguably is almost like a main quest mission. I think we might do Sur'Kesh first, however. Let's go for that. So let's save, first and foremost. It's been a little while. Let's head through our mass relay, and yes, we've fully explored Kite's Nest. That's great. Rescue the students. That would be Grissom Academy if we wanted to do that, but I think that is close. We're just not quite there yet. Exodus Cluster, we're not 100% explored yet. Are Reapers actively invading this? Because I am tempted to check out what we've yet to find here. It is tempting. Let's do it. There is a non-zero chance that Reapers are going to immediately start rushing us down. Not at the moment. We're 100% good here. Asgard is 80%. Is that the only other system in this cluster? It looks like it. Maybe. Right. I remember heading back over this way. Yeah, Asgard 80%. We did flood this place with Reapers previously. I'm really hoping it is not currently flooded with Reapers. I don't remember. Okay, now the question of what did we and did we not scan, because I have no recollection of that. This is where Terra Nova was. Okay. I imagine we probably did a double scan of these two, but it would be really great if I remembered. We scanned Loki. I think we did a scan here, which almost filled the meter. Then we did a scan here on Terra Nova. And we did not scan Loki. Okay. Well, Loki doesn't have anything. What? Excuse me? Rude. Do we scan Terra Nova and run? I think we might scan Terra Nova and run. I'd rather not get here for nothing. There we go. Do it and then run. Okay, so Terra Nova does have something. Let's see what it is. It's right here. Then we'll make a bolt. And it's an Alliance cruiser Shanghai. Great, we'll check that out later on, but we gotta go. Right now. Hey, Reapers! Bye, Reapers!
Faster than light jump successful.
Faster than light jump. Good. Let's get out of here. We are close to running out of fuel for what's worth. Also, it would be helpful if I actually steered straight toward our target, rather than veering off like that. Okay. So, now we are 100% explored Exodus Cluster. That's awesome. So, that means we can check that one off. So, I'm thinking that it may be time for us to head over to the Anos Basin to see how our Salarian friends are doing in Sur'Kesh. And as a reminder, let's just see what the update is on that mission. So, for Sur'Kesh, it is the main quest. Primarch Victus, the leader of the Turians, who we currently have on the Normandy, has called for a war summit and has taken the unusual step of including the Krogan. Rendezvous with the Salarian ship and use the Normandy as neutral ground for the summit. So that's the plan. And speaking of the state of affairs. Hello. Perhaps we just quickly here take a look at our war assets, because we have picked up at least one or two from planet scanning, and I am curious to see how significant those have been. We've seen at times it's been a pretty big deal. So we just picked up the Alliance Shanghai, Cruiser Shanghai right here. It's 40, which is not bad. The Shanghai's most important part in the Reaper War to date was the evacuation of the colony Ukbar. Alliance intel reported Reaper forces headed toward Ukbar But as a cruiser, the Shanghai... Oh, it's just a cruiser, so that's a pretty small ship. The Shanghai was unable to land on the medium gravity world. It's like a mid-sized ship. Is the Normandy might be a cruiser? Normandy a cruiser? Like, Dreadnought's the big ones. Frigate, I forget. Frigate and cruiser, I forget what the... Cruiser might be bigger than frigate. I don't remember. But, let's see. So... Because it was a cruiser, it was unable to land on the medium gravity world. Usually that means that it's big enough that, you know, it's too heavy to do so. Like, Dreadnoughts just never land on planets because they're too heavy. So that would... Yeah, I think cruisers are on the larger side then. The Shanghai's captain quickly dispatched all its shuttles to help transport hundreds of colonists onto the ship. Making over 41 shuttle runs in a single hour, the Shanghai managed to evacuate the entire remaining population. When Reaper forces arrived, Ukbar's capital city was as empty as if it had never been inhabited at all. So, successful, in that sense. See, we might have also just gotten the Alliance Naval Exploration Flotilla a little while back. In peacetime, the Alliance Naval Exploration Flotilla was used as a survey force to chart out the new systems. The NEF came under fire in 2185, when several dozen service people were charged with withholding information on rich mining... No, we saw that already. Alliance Fifth Fleet, definitely seen that. Allers, we've seen that. Normandy, of course we know that. Yeah, we've seen all that. So that's Alliance, we've all caught up on that. Cerberus, or ex-Cerberus. We now have Cerberus research data. Data liberated from a Cerberus research lab when we did that side quest includes reports on the composition and strengths of various Reaper units. Alliance scientists are fact-checking the information, but it appears to be genuine, so Alliance military VIs can use it to strategize against the Reaper's ground forces. Sounds good. Turians, we have a little bit of that working in our favor now. I think after we did some scanning in the Turian home system, or cluster, really. Turian 79th Flotilla. The Turian 79th Flotilla, worth 40 points, distinguished itself during the Krogan Rebellions when they clashed with Krogan warships above Digeris. I think that's where we did the scan. The 79th sacrificed themselves in great numbers to bring down Krogan vessels attacking the colony. It looks like a whole lot of vessels there. Centuries later, the flotilla continues to rely on speed and stealth to harass the enemy. They run interference, divert fire, and make bombing runs on enemy ground units until anti-air defenses manage to target them. Alright, so we're starting to add to our list here. I mean, our total military strength is still well below the minimum, but it's not like we're just talking about the human alliance here. We're working in some Turian support and other generic alien support as well. So we're making progress. We are making progress. But now, let's head back. And let's go to Sur'Kesh.
Commander.
Okay. So, now let's save. What's up, Ravenfall? Yeah, we're messing around a little bit with the repo alertness. This is true. This is true. We've tempted fate a bit as of late. But in doing so, we've been able to explore places in their entirety, which is nice to be able to do. So now I think we are going to head over to the Anos Basin, which is where the Salarian homeworld, Sur'Kesh, is, and that's just one of the coolest things for me in Mass Effect 3 was seeing... We've heard so much about the major species, the Salarians, the Asari, the Turians, and to finally see their home planets, or in the case of the Turians, the moon around their home planet, is just such an interesting, insightful experience to be like, oh, so this is where you came from. This is what molded you into the civilization that we see today. Okay, so let's see. Is this the system with Sur'Kesh in it? Oh no, this is... Oh, I went to the wrong place. Oh no, it is. It is the right spot. Sur'Kesh is here, but we're looking to meet on these diplomatic ships as a neutral ground. Before we do that, let's do some scans here. Oh, because there is something right here. Thought maybe we just got close enough to the mass relay. You'll see the Reaper alertness will not go up at all here because this is a system that has a active mission in it, and there's actually Small planet in this asteroid belt, Pieto, a carbonaceous asteroid, became notable for element zero deposits. The deposits, which indicate that it was an extrasolar capture, were discovered by the Salarians shortly before they found the mass relay in the Pranash system. Naturally, all element zero was mined out long ago. The asteroid is named for the clan Paito II Genon Mal Eneste Dut Solum Amar, known to humans as Amar Solum. This shy, retiring eccentric was an undergraduate when more important astrologists passed off this first ESO deposits to him. He ran the fateful test that discovered its mass-affecting properties. For 3 centuries after his death, rival clans fought for credit for the discovery, but the truth won out after a lengthy academic war. Okay, and well, I mean, it's an asteroid, so needless to say, it has basically no atmosphere and it's freezing cold. But there's not actually anything to scan on it, so yeah, we can scan like crazy if we really want to here, for what it's worth, but we'll just do a lap around the asteroid belts to see. I don't think we found anything in the home system of the Turians. It may just be that, well, the assumption is they've already collected everything themselves, in this case the Salarians, in the other case the Turians. But it might be worth just scanning planets while we're in the general area. Like so. Just while we're over here. Quacha! That doesn't seem like it. Okay, so we'll just read up and then we'll head over to the diplomatic ships. We have Hail Juice? Not sure exactly how you say that. Spacer investors are fond of saying you can't exhaust a gas giant, but the Salarians have certainly tried. Hail Juice is home to a thriving community of robo-miners and those who work in helium-3 collection and refinement. More than 16 of Hail Juice's more metallic moons have been settled. The giant bears the name of Hail Juice Corporation, which combined the best efforts of several Salarian clans to manufacture the advanced shielding necessary to colonize the planet's moons. The planet's magnetosphere retains massive amounts of radioactive ions from Pranesh, the system's star. Because of this, the cities on the moons are subsurface, protected from lethal radiation levels by shielding and thick layers of rock. Hail Juice was bought out centuries ago, but the name endures as a symbol of Salarian innovation and cooperation. Yeah, I mean, for exclusively moon colonies, moon stations, population of 109,000 is pretty significant. So, and just for context, for Salarians, of course, one of the other earlier interstellar colonizers, so in this case, I suppose this is interplanetary in this case, but 560 BCE, so certainly a lot earlier than humans, I think earlier than we saw for the Turians as well. Okay, and we, to tell you the truth, like, we might need some additional fuel, but we'll maybe hold off until we actually need to travel elsewhere. We don't need it right off the bat. Then we have Dragel. The tiny rock planet Dragel is notable for its status as a strategic reserve of heavy metals. It has been warmed slightly by a thin atmosphere of nitrogen and carbon monoxide, but otherwise remains hostile to life. In the clandestine fashion typical of Salarians, a military outpost orbits the planet but does not appear in Alliance star maps. Ever so secretive, those Salarians. Like Saradril, Dragel is named for the matrilineal clan that sent the first manned mission to the planet's surface. However, a thriving minority from the Sylar clan, who sent the first manned mission to orbit the planet, insists to this day that their leading landing attempt was sabotaged by the Dragels, and the planet should bear their name instead. Relations between the two clans remain tense. Understandably so, I suppose. Then we have Sur'Kesh, which is of course the Salarian home planet. The Salarian homeworld has been likened to the jungles of Earth. Pretty to look at, teeming with life, uncomfortable to live in, and dangerous to the unwary. The technophilic Salarians had significant pollution and waste problems early in the development of their society. They also embraced social solutions just as quickly, and through complex breeding rules, Sur'Kesh now maintains a crowded but sustainable population. The planet tends to be wetter than Earth, and Salarian cities spare no expense to collect and provide fresh water, as one might expect from an amphibious species. Oh, Salarians are... I mean, we heard Javik... I'm pretty sure I don't know, he might have been trash-talking Salarians like that when we brought him on board initially. But due to Sur'Kesh's location in the galaxy, far from dark space, it has yet to be invaded by the Reapers. Oh, interesting. That is a luxury that not many other species can say they have. In fact, didn't the Salarian Counselor, when we asked for help, say, "Oh no, we can't help you, our planets are under attack"? Like, the Turians definitely said that. Thought the Asari might have said it as well. The Turians were the ones that certainly got attacked the quickest out of those three, but were the Salarians making up excuses when they shouldn't have really had any reason to make that argument that they were directly under attack from the Reapers? They should have been able to support us, right? Because they could not strike the first blow, as the military doctrine suggests, many already consider their forces at a severe disadvantage. Yeah. Oh yeah, but its rulers are all aware that they are in the path of attack. So the population is 10.3 billion. I don't remember what the population of Earth is in this day and age, but that might be slightly less than Earth, to tell you the truth. And then orbital stations have a 1.1 million population. In terms of similarities to Earth, a little bit thicker atmosphere. It's actually pretty similar temperature-wise and slightly less gravity. Okay, so that is the Salarian homeworld, Sur'Kesh. Then we have Saradrill over here. I think we heard reference to it before. Sur'Kesh's sister planet is in a weak hothouse state, retaining enough carbon dioxide and monoxide to form an atmosphere thicker than a garden world's, but thinner than a true hothouse like Venus. In the early days of Salarian space exploration, the species saw mining the planet as an engineering challenge. When the Salarians made contact with the Asari, the robo-mining industry developed for planets like Saradrill quickly became the galactic standard. The planet is named for the Saradrill clan, specifically the Salarian Dalatros Saradrill II, or Saradrill Il? Sorensen Malnetia par Torre Nura, who sponsored the first manned mission to the planet. In antiquity, the planet was named for various gods, as well as the astronomer who first classified it as a planet rather than a star. But Nura's political machinations won out, and the planet now bears her clan's name on all standard Salarian star maps. And yeah, it may not technically be a hothouse, but at 325 degrees Celsius, I am not visiting there anytime soon. I might have seen like the slightest of little circles, as if there is a planet here that is also orbiting, but maybe I'm making that up. You've seen that too, right? Slightly to the left of Saradrill, there's this faint blue circle. Now it's perhaps easiest to see here. It's totally a ring. It would suggest there's a planet orbiting there, but maybe not. Anyways, on we go to the diplomatic ships. This is where we are looking to have that war council with the Turians and the Krogan as well. And since we're next to Sur'Kesh, I assume the Salarians will be making an appearance too. So diplomatic ships. The diplomatic ships of the Salarians, Turians, and Krogan float far away from one another, out of weapon range. They may not trust each other that much. Messages sent by each faction indicate they would welcome the Normandy as a neutral meeting ground for their diplomats. The fact that they have not agreed on a ship to serve as a neutral meeting point before now does not bode well for the negotiations. Yeah, you know, that is probably true. But anyways, here goes nothing. Let's do it.
Commander, the Salarian Dalatras and Krogan clan chief are ready to come aboard.
Have them brought to the conference room. And hope this doesn't start another war.
The Krogan is in no position to make demands.
The Krogan has a name. Erdnot Rex. And I'm not just some junkyard Varen you unleash whenever you're in trouble.
Hey, Rex.
No problems. Reaper scouts have arrived on Tuchanka. So why should I care if a few Turians go extinct?
Trying to draw out negotiations will get you nowhere, Rex. I have no time for it. Just tell us what you want.
I'll tell you what I need. A cure for the genophage.
Oh, that's a big ask.
Absolutely not. The genophage is non-negotiable.
Okay, so as a little brush up here, the genophage being the bioweapon that the Salarians developed and the Turians deployed on the Krogan, and what it did was basically make it so that only roughly one in every 1,000 births were successful, so made it so that the Krogan could no longer sustain a viable population. Their population is just going to plummet, or has plummeted for a while now, and they have just, for the most part, accepted that they are a dying species, and there's no way they'll ever come back to their former glory, unless, say, if there were a way to undo the genophage, find a cure to it, and, well, you know, if you were asking for such a thing, then perhaps the people who developed it and deployed it might be the people to ask. So, I mean, it was deployed because the Krogan were, well, just proceeding to colonize, air quotes, planets that were already colonized by other supposedly allied species, but it did not tend to end well, and so hence the Krogan Rebellions took place, and in order to quell the Krogan, genophage was deployed. So, and what's the concern? We think the Krogan might come back and try to wage another war against the rest of the galaxy?
Why are you so opposed to the idea, Dalatras?
Because my people uplifted the Krogan. We know them best.
You mean you used us to fight a war you couldn't win? It wasn't the Salarians, or the Asari, or even the Turians that stopped the Rachni. It was Krogan blood that turned the tide.
And after that, you ceased to be useful. The genophage was the only way to keep your urges in check.
That's
Dalatras,
not gonna go well with Rex.
Rex is right. Insulting him won't change that.
I won't apologize for speaking the truth. We uplifted the Krogan to do one thing: wage war. It's all they know because it's all we wanted them to know.
Yeah, see, the thing is, it's one thing to want an ally in dire situations, but, you know, at the same time, you can't then just proceed to sabotage said allies and expect them to still be friendly with you. You know, you might have uplifted the Krogan, but they're now a species, much like any other in this galaxy, that deserves basic respect and decency. And if you are not willing to meet them at the negotiating table, then, you know, they're not going to return the favor. So perhaps you may have miscalculated. Also, when it comes to dire situations, we might have needed them against the Rachni. We could certainly use them against the Reapers.
Your people should have thought the matter through then. Was it really a surprise that Krogan revolted?
That's precisely my point, Commander. We made a rash decision. We turned to the Krogan in desperation. It's the same mistake you're about to make today. No good can come from curing the genophage.
But, see, the thing is, you might have messed up with this whole genophage thing. Maybe the Krogan deserve a chance.
The Krogan have paid for their mistakes. The genophage has gone on long enough.
1,476 years, if you're keeping track.
It was 1,000
Something tells me
years
he
of
is.
peace, free from these brutes.
Enough. Whether or not they deserve a cure is academic. It would take years to formulate one.
My information says otherwise.
Oh? Excuse me.
A Salarian scientist, Malin, grew a conscience. He was on my planet, testing a cure on our females.
I remember. His methods were barbaric.
But what you didn't know is that other females survived his experiments. So the Dalatras here sent in a team to clean up the whole mess and to take them prisoner.
Where did you get this? It could be a fabrication.
Don't insult me. Those are my people. They're immune to the genophage, and you're going to give them back.
Dalatras, is this true?
How will curing the genophage benefit my people?
Phew, well, that's a deflection there. You didn't answer the question, for what it's worth. So I take that to mean, yes, you did, in fact, attempt to capture the Krogan who survived Malin's experiments. Now, that is a reference to what we did back in Mass Effect 2 for, was it Mordin? Yeah, Mordin's loyalty mission. Malin being Mordin's protege, if you will, was someone who worked on the genophage with Morden previously, and then in the time in which we were working with Morden, Malin went off, started his own research work on Tuchanka, on Krogan, in which, as Shepard said, methods were quite questionable. We saw some Krogan in pretty bad situations where they were just like dead. Just tested on with, basically no precaution, or little to no precautions taken for their general well-being. It was just the ends justify the means. We'll do whatever it takes to find some sort of solution here, where Malin was trying to find a cure to the genophage. And at the end of that mission, we had the choice of either trying to destroy the progress that Malin has made, if we figured that, hey, it was not research that was done with, or it was not conducted well, that research, and so therefore the results should not be considered. Or we could say, maybe that research, bad as the processes may have been, the results could still be worth trying to use, and we could therefore keep the data. We did keep the data, and so with that, sounds like perhaps Malin was actually able to find a cure, and although most of those Krogan that he had tested died in the process, some are still alive. They've been captured by the Salarians, and now the Salarian Dalatros does not want us to get those Krogan, and Rex says he would like to see them, because he would like a cure to the genophage. So, well, see, the thing is, you can't do this on your own, the Salarians. As we were seeing when we read the entry on your homeworld, Sur'Kesh, your military doctrine is strike first, and basically just confirm the win by doing so. And in an outright fight, you tend not to fare very well, and guess what? Things are not working in your favor right now in that case, so you could use all the friends you could get.
How long do you think you'll last alone against the Reapers? Because if you don't help, that's how it'll end up.
And I'll be the last friendly Turian you ever see.
What's it gonna be?
The females are being kept at one of our STG bases on Sur'Kesh. But I warn you, Commander, the consequences of this will be
no, we won't.
Let's go.
Annoying as she is.
You're not setting foot on Sur'Kesh. This will take time.
It happens now. As a Council Spectre, Shepard can oversee the exchange.
We're going.
I won't forget this, Commander. A bully has few friends when he needs them most.
Alright. Okay, so to Sur'Kesh we go. And so this will be the place where, well, the primary mission takes place. In terms of who we'd like to take here. So, you can of course make the case for whoever is the best in terms of the types of enemies we're expecting to go against, and, we don't really have any indication at this stage as to who we'd expect to go against. The Reapers we've learned are not yet at Sur'Kesh, but we're expecting them to show up soon. We've been finding a whole lot of Cerberus as of late, but don't really know between those two, or something entirely different, what to expect. The other route you could take is you could say, there might be some plot significant reasons to bring other people instead. And so, although they may not be the perfect squad mates on this mission, I'm thinking for that reason, why don't we deliberately take Liara and Garrus, because they are our two squad mates from Mass Effect 1, and they might have some unique dialogue on this mission. Okay, so then when it comes to our selection here, we did accidentally put the wrong mod on the Acolyte previously. This was supposed to be, was Power Amplifier that we missed out on. Yep, we'll take that back. Thank you very much. Then for Garrus. For you, we've not had the chance to give you the Vindicator or the Particle Rifle. No, we'd definitely like to go Particle Rifle in that case. Particle Rifle, we saw it a little bit with Javik in our Cerberus Lab mission, but one other thing to note is, although it is for sure our strongest assault rifle at this stage, higher weight, yes, but way higher capacity, as we said before. The capacity is very different because it works like a Mass Effect 1 gun where it has that heatsink. Fire rate is just astronomically high, and the damage actually also quite unique. Don't think we talked about this at all, but it starts off firing a little beam, and then the longer you hold, or after holding that beam for a certain amount of time, the beam gets significantly larger and deals significantly more damage in the process. So it does require that the user stays stationary and, or well, at least remains firing for a somewhat significant amount of time. So it's a little bit dangerous to use in that way, but if you can hold down the fire, then it becomes extremely potent. So also it has perfect accuracy, despite it suggesting that it is not. So I think we were saying before that, I mean, we only have 2 options here for our mod, so I mean, I guess we'll use those mods. Then, so the other thing about the assault, or the particle rifle for the assault rifles, is that unlike most assault rifles where teammates tend to stay pretty far away, I think, technically speaking, the teammate AI with the particle rifle tends to make them move in a little bit closer. It doesn't quite have the same range as some of other assault rifles that we have. Fortunately for Garrus, though, he does have long-range options. He has the Mantis. It is the starting sniper rifle. You also have the Viper. The Mantis is actually, of all the starting weapons, though, personally I think the Mantis is far and away the best, because the damage is just pretty huge. So, may not quite be powerful enough to one-shot enemies, but it's close. Let's see what else we have here in terms of our options. Now, the enhanced scope does increase accuracy, and it does help aiming through smoke. For Shepard, however, our squad mates are unaffected when, say, Cerberus, who tends to be the enemy that uses smoke, they're unaffected by that, so that shouldn't be a factor. The extended barrel for the extra damage, though, that is intriguing. I think we'll probably go that route. And then, I mean, could go shot capacity. Alternatively, increasing damage by 5%. I don't know if the speed perception matters at all for our squad mates. I don't know if that's a thing. But, I mean, 5% damage is a tiny little smidgen of damage, so suppose we stick with that. I mean, we could go Viper. The deal with the Viper is that, oh, hold on. Meant to do this. It's the sort of hybrid between the assault rifle and sniper, so you can potentially use it in some situations, but I think we'll keep it simple here and stick with the Mantis. So, let's do that. So that's Garrus. Then Liara, did we accidentally cut her off a little bit early when we were trying to set her up for a previous mission? Oh no, that was maybe Edie. But no, she does have what we are looking for here, so that looks fine. We unfortunately still don't have a second SMG, still just the starting shuriken. Then for level or points here, we do not have any additional ones beside that one that we finished off with heading into our previous mission, and it would take 2 points to invest in anything here, so Shepard is doing all that he can do here. We do have enough points for Liara to invest a bit more, and what I was thinking with her is, would now go all the way up for rank 4 warp, which would be nice. Or rather, rank 6 warp, because this is going to be her primary damage dealer. Stasis is her primary setup ability. And so it'd be kind of nice to have that upgraded further as well, especially because it has an astronomically long recharge time. It's not quite as bad as it once was, but I suppose increasing the duration means that at least the enemy that you're locking down with stasis is locked down for almost the entire time that you're waiting for the recharge. Not quite enough to just chain stasis over and over again, but yes, we'll go with the piercing warp, because it does do the extra damage against barriers and armor, and weakens enemies, giving them a debuff, which is definitely a nice thing to have. We have it as well with Shepard, so not crucially important, but for at least for the debuff purposes, but just makes biotic combos more effective as well. For Garrus, what approach do we want to take with you? We can go fully upgrade Turian Rebel, and then put a couple of points, get one upgrade for Concussive Shot, or put a point into Proximity Mine, or we could go either overload or armor-piercing ammo. Let's just see what the options are here. What do we get? The headshot damage, the ammo capacity in this case, or the neural shock or the recharge speed. That'd be kind of nice. I mean, pretty long recharge time as well for Garrus here on overload. So that might be nice to be able to take that. Korean Rebel, I'm assuming, is... You probably go the sniper rifle damage. It's huge sniper rifle damage. That is tempting. I mean, it depends. Are we thinking we're going to have Garrus exclusively on assault rifles for this mission? It's possible, but there are probably times when pulling out a sniper would be nice. And 60% damage on a sniper is obviously ginormous. So, yeah, I think we do it. I think we still do that. And then with 2 points, honestly, like, concussive shot is not a huge priority. It can detonate abilities, so there's something to be said for that, yes. But we have Liara and Shepard can both do a lot of detonation, so you're mostly here, Garrus, just to dish out tons of damage with your weapons. So I think we might just save these 2 points, honestly, and get closer to upgrading armor-piercing ammo and or overload more quickly. I think that's the play. Yeah, let's do it.
This is the Salarian homeworld we're headed to. They aren't used to seeing Krogan here, so let's keep it simple. We land, get the females, and leave before anyone changes their mind.
I still don't trust a word they say.
You may have reason to not trust a word they say, but let's at least try to be friendly.
Let diplomacy play out, Rex. You'll get what you want.
These females are the best and probably last hope for my people.
We'll bring them back, Rex. Don't worry.
I appreciate that, Liara. I wouldn't want anyone else along for the ride.
Oh, that's sweet. What about Garrus?
I suppose I can make room for you too, Garrus.
Figured you'd gone soft sitting on your throne. Forgot how to hold a gun.
Commander, I have the Salarian base on sensors.
Old squad's coming back together.
Set her down.
Just like the good old days.
Commander, Salarian ground control says we don't have clearance to land.
What?
Tell them the Dalatrass authorized this herself.
I knew they'd never keep their word. Let's see them try to stop a Krogan airdrop.
Rex. Be nice. Rex.
We have an unauthorized landing.
And who authorized you to hold my race hostage?
Oh. Okay. So much for being friendly. Rex. Don't move.
Halt! Stand down! Hold your fire! Commander Shepard, restrain your colleague. We only found out about this transfer a few moments ago.
Okay, let's just all take a deep breath here. We can work this out. Don't worry about it.
I'd like to avoid a diplomatic incident,
As would we.
but you have something valuable for Rex.
Something worth dying for.
This matter can be resolved, but I must insist he remain under guard.
Rex, can you just chill for a few minutes?
I can handle this, Rex.
Anything goes wrong and all bets are off.
Rex, stop
I'm
picking
quite
fights.
equipped, and I appreciate your understanding, Commander. With war on everyone's minds, our people are on edge.
That's a Yogg.
Careful! Watch the containment shield!
I'd hope to never see one of those again.
Yeah.
As you can see, this base contains sensitive information.
Yeah, that may look familiar, based on some previous experience we had in Mass Effect 2, for Liara in particular. But sensitive information, you say?
What kind of work goes on here?
Evolutionary trials, morphological simulations, exogenetic assessments.
Nothing is ever simple with Salarians, is it?
Science has always been our best defense. The research we do here has kept Sur'Kesh safe for millennia.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the the Salarian homeworld. So, I mean, welcome to Sur'Kesh! In some ways, sort of. So, I mean, you, for example, studying Krogan?
Does that include studying lost Krogan?
The females were in poor health when we found them on Tuchanka. They were brought here to stabilize their condition.
This whole planet smells wrong.
I'd like to see them.
Of course, I'll need to clear you for the lower levels. Give me a few moments and meet me near the elevator.
Okay. So when we're ready, we want to meet Paddockwick. We got some Paragon points there for what it's worth. But let's take a little look around here. Let's save now that we're on Sur'Kesh. And let us see if there's anyone we can chat with here. Like, we can activate this console.
Please don't touch that.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
As I said, Commander, don't touch that.
Okay, but so just theoretically speaking, what would happen if we did touch that?
Again, I would ask you to refrain from touching that.
See, but what if we actually we've been in the front lines for a while now. We're a little hard of hearing, perhaps. So, sorry, what did you say?
Perhaps don't touch that means something different in your language.
Maybe. Maybe not.
I would rather not refer this matter to the human embassy.
Oh, surely it can't be that bad, right?
Touch it all you want. You'll never find out what it does.
Annoy you, we know that much.
Are humans really so deprived of stimulus that they must insist on touching everything?
Oh, absolutely. Without question.
I'm afraid if you keep touching that, you risk a diplomatic incident.
Oh, now he's quoting us. I see how it is.
Further manipulation of that object is grounds for further admonishment.
I dare you. Admonish me all you'd like.
Really? You must stop touching that.
I think we got him.
Once more, the Salarian Union formally requests that you not touch that. Fine. If you are so enamored of that object, then I suggest you get your own feces analyzed.
It's a feces analyzer. Then we keep on touching. In that case, maybe you can keep the feces analyzer.
We've already been down that road. No more.
All right. Please prepare for Yogg specimen arrival. You hear that? As I was saying, we are familiar with the Yogg. Kinda, sort of.
Where all you Salarians come from, huh? No wonder you're so soft. Too busy writing poetry about waterfalls.
Take a quick look. I mean, we heard that it's a jungle-like environment, and it does look very nice. He's not wrong about that. So how's it going, Rex? Enjoying time with your new Salarian best buddies?
Shepard, I don't like this. I should be the one going in.
How about you stay here and we only fight one war at a time?
That was just good old-fashioned Krogan hot air. If it had been real, they'd be dead.
I mean, yes and no. You did see how many laser sights were aimed right at your chest, right? I mean, he is a Krogan, but still. So, let's see, we have lots of options here to chat with you. How are things going back on Tuchanka?
Back on the Normandy, he said Reapers were sighted on Tuchanka.
Clans Jorgal and Ravenor sighted a few landing parties. The Reapers are up to something. Tuchanka may be a pile of radioactive rubble, but it's our pile, and we'll fight the last Krogan to keep it that way.
It's a pile of junk, but we want it that way.
My smoldering good looks?
There is that. But you've never given up, and that determination's about to pay off.
Yeah. I would have thought back on Vermeer we'd be standing here doing this together.
I mean, once team, always a team, right? What about, let's see. That was Tuchanka. I mean, the Reapers more generally?
Are the Krogan ready to fight the Reapers?
Ever since Sovereign showed up, I figured this day would come. My people have spent too much time selling ourselves out as mercenaries. Now we can get back to doing what Krogan do best. saving everyone else from giant monsters.
Never going to let us forget about the Rachni Wars, are you?
Well, last time I was at the Citadel,
I mean, he's not wrong.
I didn't see a Turian statue in your honor.
He's also not wrong.
Just wait till this war is over.
We'll see about that. We'll see about that. Okay. You said you had some kind of inside source that let you know that there were these special Krogan females here on Sur'Kesh that had survived those experiments. Care to disclose who that might have been?
Who tipped you off about the females here?
Sorry, Shepard, but they're listening to every word we say. I prefer my Salarian liver served raw. Besides, you'd think this is the kind of thing the Shadow Broker would have known about. Too bad I don't know him. Or her.
I'm sure the broker was very busy.
Let's see, did we ever... Is there any reason why we would have told Rex who the broker is? I don't know if we did. Well, actually, Rex once upon a time worked for the Shadow Broker, mind you. I mean, that was before the Shadow Broker was Liara. But maybe he has enough information to piece it together, because, I mean, he surely just attempted to call Liara's bluff there. So, very interesting. And as for the actual Krogan females, the one that survived the experiments that may help us get some kind of cure for the genophage, what can you tell us more about them?
What do you know about these females?
They weren't fertile, so we used them as decoys to draw off enemies from the ones who were. But Malin's experiments changed that. These damn pyjacks stole them right out from under us.
It does seem like pretty harsh treatment, but you know, we're trying to keep this civil.
It's been good talking to you again, Rex.
It'll be even better when we have a few Salarians for lunch.
I love their facial expressions every time. Rex is like, you know, I would perhaps prefer if we had some either dead or roasted Salarians.
Told me the Turians can't hold out much longer. He's hearing the Reapers have them against the wall.
The Turians have the biggest fleet in the galaxy.
And we're only a few Mass Effect relays away from the whole mess.
You're not wrong. I mean, you're safe at the moment, but perhaps not for much longer. Let's see if there's anything else of interest here, because here's a name that might ring a bell. And one thing that I don't think I've mentioned yet in our Mass Effect 3 playthrough, but I'm sure we will talk about it a lot more as time goes on. The ending of Mass Effect 3, let's just say, has been extremely controversial at times. I think one thing that makes Mass Effect 3 much, much better, at least in my personal experience, in my opinion, is if you think about Mass Effect 3 in its entirety as the end to the trilogy. You know, the beginning of the trilogy, we learned, hey, there's this threat we think might be on our doorstep, the Reapers. We tried to warn people. People generally wouldn't listen to us. Then suddenly, Mass Effect 3, they're here. They're a very real threat. And we're seeing people that we met in Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2, reacquainting with them, seeing things that they've done in our absence, ways that they've grown and found opportunities to help the galaxy or help their specific friends, family, associates, whatever it might be. And I think if you continue to look at it that way over the course of this playthrough, then I think it is much more of a satisfying way to go about Mass Effect 3. If you say, for example, Captain Kirrahe was somebody that we met on in Mass Effect 1 on Vermeer, and well, here he is again.
Commander Shepard, it's Major Kirrahe. I'd heard you were coming.
Because we remember you.
Good to see you again. Sounds like you've been promoted.
Yes, due in no small part to our mission on Vermeer. Hold the line. You saved my men that day.
Good to see a friendly face, Major.
Garrus Vicarian. Always a pleasure. And same to you, Dr. Tassoni.
Major.
It seems the Reapers have a way of bringing us together.
I suppose, in some ways, that is true. So yeah, he of course helped us in our attack on Saren's base on Vermeer in Mass Effect 1, and I think I was saying at the time that let's just say there is a very real chance that if you did not approach that mission with care, then sure he may not have made it this far. But let's see, let's get the latest on him. What are you up to these days?
How did you get posted to this base, Major?
I led the team on Tachanka that found the females. Nasty business. Malin may have meant well, but his operation was crude. Test subjects were unaccounted for. The females easily escaped his lab.
Okay. So, I mean, that connects Kirhi here to what we did ourselves on on Tachanka and what we saw, witnessed, and of course now what is happening with these females that we are trying to bring out of the Salarian capture, if you want to call it that. So, yeah, it does seem like there's rather tight security here.
Security seems high. Are you expecting trouble?
Our motto in STG is to always expect trouble. Failing that, create trouble for someone else. Our enemies have the same idea.
Suppose so. I mean, talking about Vermeer, we were just mentioning it ourselves.
I guess we're both still feeling the effects of Vermeer.
Yes, ironic. You destroyed the genophage cure, yet now it's the key to an alliance. Your standoff with Erdnot Rex is legend within STG.
That is true. We did have to talk Rex down at that time when we heard that Saren had developed a cure for the genophage, and we did kind of need to destroy that so that Saren didn't create an army of Krogan to wage against us. But now we've found a different way to perhaps get said cure, and Rex he's hanging out just a little ways back there. A couple of other Salarian friends.
I'm sure you saw Rex's entrance.
Our colony's 3 systems away saw it.
Yes, and he's rather angry about the security arrangements.
Apologies, but better that than a Krogan with a shotgun wandering the base. Think of all the casualties. Our medbay couldn't handle it.
Guess you're right. I guess you're right. So, I mean, what is the state of the Reapers right now with regards to Sur'Kesh? We've heard that they may be close, but they're not yet here.
Are the Salarians prepared for war with the Reapers?
I've heard what they're doing to your Earth. I'm not sure any species can prepare for that. Though rumors suggest you're building a superweapon of some kind.
No comment, no. Rumors are true. Rumors are true. I mean, we trust Kirhi.
This business with the females is part of it. I need the Turian support, and they need the Krogans.
Which is why I never became a diplomat. Too much hand-holding. Leave it to the Dalatresses.
Yeah, about her. She's, not exactly the most pleasant of people to work with. Okay, and lastly, can you tell us more about these Krogan that we're trying to rescue?
What do you think about bringing the female Krogan here?
Our scientists say it's important to preserve the females. Evolutionary paradigms. I say when people know you're hiding something valuable, they'll want to steal it. Either way, I have my orders. They'll be your problem soon enough.
Suppose you're right. Now, it looks like the last thing that we can talk with Kirhi about, but absolutely good to see him again. As I was saying, I mean, in many cases, Mass Effect 3 at various points in our playthrough is going to bring back things and people and encounters and decisions that we made at various points throughout our playthrough thus far, and in some cases, we'll see, hopefully, good things that have come to those people. And, well, I mean, I suppose there's a chance that things might go in the other direction every now and again as well, but hopefully that doesn't happen too often.
Nice seeing you again, Major.
Likewise. And, Commander, regardless of what the politicians decide, you can count on my support retaking Earth.
You'd do that?
Consider it my way of returning a favor. It would be an honor to fight alongside you again.
And that
Good day.
is why Kirhi is a bro. Absolute bro. What a dude. What a dude.
Air defenses report unidentified craft skirting our inbound approach vectors.
It's like someone's testing our defenses.
Appears that way, sir.
I don't like it. Not with everything else going on.
Okay, and here's Paddock Wicks, which is actually the person who greeted us when we first came down with Rex.
You have clearance now to see the females, Commander. I hope we can resolve this matter
Oh,
without
he's the person we were supposed to talk to
rebellions.
go further, which I may not have necessarily wanted to do. Can you tell us more about the Krogan females? I mean, I think we've spoken to almost everybody. There may have been one or two more people we could have checked in with.
What do you think about handing over the Krogan?
I differ from most of my colleagues. Curing the genophage will bring closure to this issue. In the future, the Krogan may yet play some role we can't even imagine. We should let the evolutionary process decide who lives and dies, not galactic politics.
I suppose that's a fair point to make. But that's all.
Thanks for your time.
Of course. Proceed into the elevator when you're ready.
Okay. So we can go in there when we are ready, but let's see if there is anyone else we'd like to chat with first.
Exchange is proceeding.
Yes, sir.
And ask her for more warning the next time the Krogan leader shows up unannounced.
Yes, sir.
I wasn't serious. She'll maroon you onto a chunk of raw meat strapped to your back if you do that. Then she'll record the Thresher Maws eating you as a warning to anyone else who challenges her.
Oh, okay. Well, learn a little bit more about the Dalatros in that case. Was that guy just dancing? Kind of looked like it for a second there. Now let's just take a quick look, see if there is perhaps any more feces analyzers that we can investigate.
Agree with them or not, our orders are clear. Ensure the smooth handover of the Krogan detainees.
Who gave the order?
Our superiors. That's all that matters.
But they're gonna cure the genophage. Everything we've done to stop the Krogan will be for nothing.
When I want your opinion, I'll promote you. Until then, stay sharp and keep your mouth shut.
Ooh, take that. Put in his place.
This is a restricted area. Please stay back.
Well, I'm sorry. But I'm a Spectre. Okay, I think in that case, that may be just about everyone we can chat with.
There was outbound comm traffic 20 minutes ago from inside the base.
And?
A burst transmission, fully encoded, with no identity signature.
No signature? That's against protocol.
I know. Someone's passing a message. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Famous last words, I'm afraid. That does not sound good. Some kind of outbound message from inside the base. Somebody is...
But the Yogg specimen is giving us trouble.
Oh, more here?
I regret ever bringing them here for study.
They say they're close to achieving spaceflight.
That's why they're under consideration for uplift. Clever species. Perhaps too clever.
Yeah, so Yogg, of course, the species that we saw briefly upon arriving here.
Do something about the Reapers.
My friend said there was some sort of diplomatic summit, but the Asari wouldn't attend.
It's true.
Did he say why?
Apparently, they think there's too much bad blood with the Krogan.
For once, I agree with them. Only a fool would trust the Krogan.
But also just seems so weird, as we were saying before, for the most diplomatic species to say they don't want to do diplomacy.
Anything happens to the females, I'm turning everyone's skulls inside out. Just a fair warning.
Okay. Man, everyone has so much stuff to say. Everybody. Like, you think it's just one conversation, but then you come back, they're like, no, we've got more. We've got more. Those guys over there saying that outbound communications that were not with any signature from inside the facility suggest that there's somebody in there trying to contact someone, which may not be a good thing. But anyways, I think everyone is done with their conversations here. Unless Rex has even more to say.
When the genophage is cured, you might want to watch your back. Going to be a lot of angry Krogan with long memories.
Ooh.
And they're not all as reasonable as I am.
You may be right about that. Remember, the Krogan, much like Asari, can live to be many hundreds, if not possibly even 1,000 years old. But now, I think, let's save, and then we'll go through the elevator.